Hey, what's going on everyone? Zephan Moses Blacksburg here, and today we are touring a live streaming studio, 4,200 square foot space. So let's go on in and meet our friends. Hey, this is Marty from Focal Point Productions. And Marty, tell us, where are we right now in this first space we walk into?
So this is our new studio. It's 4,200 square feet. We have 6 offices, 2 studios, 2 control rooms, conference room, kitchen, and storage space.
Let's go and check it out.
Sure.
So it looks like we got just some storage rooms here off to the side. We got an edit bay.
So this is Studio A. It's about 16 by 25. The ceilings are about 9 feet tall. When we moved in, we had the landlord install this lighting grid for us, which was a huge help compared to our old studio where we had all the light stands on the floor. Being able to put all the lights in the ceiling is a huge help, and clears floor space. We have 3 quad electrical outlets in the ceiling that are all controlled by an independent light switch. So normally when we do this, we'll have our main lights on one switch, our hair lights on another, and then background on the third.
And where does someone get a grid like this if they're looking to buy something like that?
So the pipes were just from Home Depot or Lowe's, but what's special is these crossbar connectors. They're about $30 each that we got from a staging and scaffolding company. And what was a huge help to us was the landlord, we paid for it, but the landlord had a electrician install all this for us.
So this doesn't have to be any sort of like fancy grid from like Manfrotto or like one of those companies. Like this is
a general contractor put this together. I think the lighting grids in both studios with electrical was about $6,000.
Tell me about the choice for the paint and the color on the wall.
We went with dark gray. So we didn't want white to reflect back too much. When you're using RGB colors for our background, white just bounces too much and the gray helps with the saturation of the colors.
And then in here right now, obviously it's not set up for a video shoot at the moment, but you've got some cool backdrop pieces and stuff here.
Yeah, some props and backdrop pieces from a shoot that we did. Right now we only have 1 or 2 lights hanging in here. We'll just bring lights in and out based on whatever the needs of that specific shoot are.
Awesome. Let's keep moving. Show me what some of these rooms are over here and what else you got.
One of the cool features is we have a on-air light that's right above the door. So everybody knows to shut up.
Nice.
Conference room. This is control room 1, which is a Tricaster TC1. When we're doing a lot of, during COVID, when we did a lot of virtual productions, we were living on the Tricaster 1. So this room is connected to our 2 studios and our other control room, all via fiber. We have about 20 different fiber lines that connect all the rooms together to allow us to have monitors, cameras, and everything else be all interconnected.
And then tell me a little bit about Tricaster. What does it allow you to do? Inputs, outputs?
So this Tricaster has 4 SDI in and 4 SDI out. We can bring in virtual callers via Skype. All that is internal and built in. Also does built-in graphics, playback, full screens, lower thirds, and videos. So we always have a director and a producer in the room. This person back here helps with the virtual callers and also will help with the run-up show and calling out what's next.
And so all this is basically rack mounted in here. Yeah. You've got a lot of stuff in here. So give me just a quick rundown. Like, what do we have in this rack mount? It looks like a hyperdeck, SDI distribution. There's a web presenter, a couple more hyperdecks for video playback or for recordings mostly.
So this rack was a custom built. We have 3 Blackmagic hyperdecks, which allow us to record program, as well as ISOs on individual feeds coming in, web presenter and a decimator in there for if we need to connect a laptop to get somebody in via Zoom. The video hub so that we can route signals in and out to different monitors and from different cameras. And as I mentioned, the fiber patch panel that goes to the other rooms in the within our facility.
And then you got 2 PCs down here.
2 mini PCs. One PC is meant for PowerPoint. The other is for Skype and the producer. And then we have a Mac Mini, which the producer will also use for downloading content Also have an A10 mini connected so that if we need to, we can stream out to Zoom. And then we have a Teradek Cube, which is our encoder for when we live stream out.
And then real quick on the monitor side, because we have a lot of screens here, what's usually going where?
Yep, so these 3 screens are all for the Tricaster to be able to see multi-view of the different layouts that we can have. This big one over here is a 4K quad monitor. So that screen breaks up into 4 different smaller screens where the director can see Skype, Google Docs for run of show, and other laptops or computers that we may be using.
And then back here, these 2 monitors for the producer, what are they usually looking at most of the time?
So this is for the Mac, for the producer. And then this monitor and keyboard mouse over here is working on a KVM switch. So what's really cool is with the KVM switch, this monitor, keyboard, mouse can control 2 different computers. And by pushing the button back and forth, you're swapping what you are seeing and controlling. So rather than having 2 monitors, 2 keyboards, we can have 1 pair, and this switch lets us control both.
And that's the 2 PCs that are built in on the rack mount down there.
2 mini PCs.
And you got a Stream Deck down there for some quick shortcuts.
Stream Deck for the Tricaster to have some presets in there. Obviously, we need our big clock so we know what time it is. And then in this room and in all the rooms, we have both we have a Verizon Fios at 200 megabytes, and then we have a Comcast backup where if Verizon goes out, we have another provider.
Good deal. Let's keep moving.
Yep. So right across from here, we have our camera cage where we leave all of our cameras and our battery charging stations.
Then right next door, we've got another control room, but much bigger, a lot more screens. Tell me what's going on in here.
So you have to excuse the mess. We are still setting this room up. It is not done yet. This is control room 2 for our Tricaster 2. This basically does everything that the other Tricaster does, but double. So where that one has 4 SDI ins and outs, this has 8 SDI in and outs. This gives us more MEs, mix effects for doing multi-layered effects, green screens, virtual sets. Same kind of rack, just more. We have more hyperdecks. We have, I think, 5 or 6 hyperdecks in here for, again, recording program and ISO feeds. We have a new tech talk show, which allows us to bring in 4 more virtual callers on Skype. The video hub, the panels, the 2 mini PCs. Over here, we have our Mac Mini for the producer to download assets and follow the run of show. We have the same quad screen where we can see all of our different computers on one screen, an audio mixer, and a Stream Deck, which are both working using a program called Central Control, which allows us to control the Tricaster. Again, our Teradek Cube encoder, and this one has 4 monitors for the Tricaster display, and we also have another monitor going up soon, which we'll be able to see like the run of show. And that's this room.
Any particular reason why you would go Tricaster 1 over Tricaster 2, or like any benefit to using this one for a certain live stream? Like, what makes you decide to use this room over that one?
What's really nice about the Tricaster 2 is, in addition to having Skype like the other Tricaster does, it also has a program called Live Call Connect, which natively allows us to bring in remote guests via Zoom or Teams. So we can do that built into this Tricaster versus having laptops and pinning. That's all built in. So this gives us more SDI-ins, more mixed effects, and the built-in ability to do Live Call Connect.
And obviously this type of setup costs way more than an ATEM Mini Extreme with 3 or 4 laptops plugged in. What would you choose this for over, say, like an ATEM Mini Extreme with like 3 or 4 laptops and a bunch of other stuff? Or is it kind of just makes things easier? It's all in one place?
What I like about the Tricaster is it has built-in video playback, built-in super sources, like what they call it in the Blackmagic, and the Tricaster is called an ME. So where the Blackmagic ATEMs have 1 or 2 super sources or no super sources, we have 8 in this one. It's easier to load in all of our graphics. Again, has the built-in Skype, built-in Zoom. So really, right out of the gate, this one device can replace the ATEM and 10 other devices just with having one.
And you got your colored RGB lights so you can go into battle station mode.
The last thing you want when you're looking at a computer screen for hours is the bright overheads. So we have like LED little strip lights, pretty cheap ones you can get. So we can make the control room a little darker. makes it easier to see the screens and a little bit easier in your eyes.
And I know that you love a certain type of gaming desk that you found, so you've got them in both the rooms. You have like 4 or 5 of them now?
I have like 10 of these desks. They're made by a company called Zephan Warrior. I found them from somebody on a Facebook group, said they were really nice, so we have a bunch of them. They're pretty inexpensive. They're all $200 or less. Very simple to put together, and they come with the desktop mouse pad, which is nice too.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Let's see what else you got. Let's see. You've got some storage room. I know you've got kind of a little space for clients to come in and get ready, like a green room here.
Yep. So here's our makeup and green room. Again, everything, we've only been here for 2 months, so everything is still under construction. We're going to be having some signs put up. The TVs are up, but they haven't run the wires yet, so that's why the wire's hanging down. But yeah, we have a makeup room in here for clients to come in to get ready. There are TVs like the one you see here on the wall, also a TV in the kitchen, which you'll see next, and a TV in the lobby and in the conference room. All those TVs are connected to the control room. So if we're doing a show, a client can be sitting here having their makeup done or just relaxing, and they can see the show.
Tell me about the decision to add in some snacks and certain things here. I mean, it's just the little stuff that makes all the difference.
Yeah, having a mini fridge with some drinks and some snacks. Clients often, when they're going to be in a live production, they're nervous and they may not have eaten beforehand. So just having some snacks for them to munch on can help kind of with those nerves.
No Cristal in the fridge. Is there any drink of choice for this one?
I think just sparkling water and regular water.
Sparkling water, regular water, cold brew. We've got cold brew coffee as well. Okay. There you go. All right, what's over here?
Here is Studio B.
And we have a restroom, right? So a restroom right next to the green room.
Yep, 2 bathrooms in the studio and their office here.
Studio B.
So Studio B, this one is probably about 30 feet by 12 feet.
A little bit of a different setup, but still using a similar lighting grid up here. We've got some more lights mounted. What do you have? Aperture, Amaran, 200Xs looks like, so bicolor, key and fill. What else is back here? There's this, I think, a little 60D hair light.
So 60D hair light. All these lights we can control using our phone in the Sidious app, which is nice when we're doing a production. You don't have to climb up there and get the little dials and knobs. I can use my phone in the app to adjust the light color, temperatures, and brightness.
And then some RGB lights when we want to put colors up on the paper roll backdrops, yeah?
Yep. And we have a bunch of mounts in the ceiling so we can put lights anywhere. Again, we have the same thing with the 3 quad power outlets and 3 separate switches to be able to turn on our lights in different sections. And so we have a paper holder with 3 different paper backdrops.
Triple roll, so it looks like, hey Siri, thanks for that. Green screen, gray screen, and pink for right now. Maybe a special client request that came through.
I think we had an extra paper, so we hung it up.
Tell me about this creepy head on a light stand here.
So people always ask why I have her. It's great when you're working in here by yourself and you're trying to set up your framing and shot. You can set this to the height that you think your client is going to be, put them in position, and then position your mic, your lights, your camera, and it's really easy for a one-man band to be able to set up a shot by yourself.
And then what happens when you've got a client in here and you want to be able to route a feed to that control room and they want to, you need to get that feed into the Tricaster for a live stream?
So it's a little hard to see from here, but over here in the corner we have our fiber patch panel. So all of the 2 studios and 2 control rooms are all connected. So right here we have 5 fiber lines going to control room 1, 5 fiber lines going to control room 2. Those are all dual lines, so it's really, you have 10 feeds going back and forth to each room. And then we have another fiber that connects the 2 studios together. So on the floor here we have a Blackmagic, a little hard to see, but a dual fiber converter. So here we have our 1 fiber cable with 2 channels or 2 strands. And this has an in and an out. So we're using that to send our camera from here to the studio. And then we need to send a return feed from the studio back here again, so that when we do like a live talk show, the host can see what's happening.
What's your teleprompter of choice?
So these are ICANN teleprompters. These are 19 inches. They're pretty big and hefty. We have 2 of these that we use. What I like about this one is it has SDI and HDMI inputs. So no matter for what we're doing, we can connect any device. So I can connect that converter through SDI right to the monitor and send it an HD signal for the live on-air host to see who they're talking to. We then have
some storage in the back.
We then have this Behringer in-ear earpiece. So the on-air host can put this in their ear and adjust the volume to hear the person that they're talking to.
And then talk to me real quick before we move on about just sound in this room. Obviously, if someone's working in an edit bay next door or someone's in the green room next door, how are you making sure you can kind of keep it a little quieter in here? What'd you guys do to the walls to make sure?
So when we were looking at the space, we had the landlord put in extra insulation in the walls and in the ceiling. Now, it's not perfect. This isn't a Hollywood or TV studio, but to be on a budget, this is what we went with, and it worked out really well. So we do want to make sure, though, that people aren't, yelling down the hallway or playing a video really loud. This is a firewall here that protects us from our neighbors next door. So it's cinder block and has extra insulation. And we know next door, when we moved in, we asked what they did. And really for them, it's all back warehouse in this area. And they really don't use it a lot. So we're not expecting a lot of noise. We also have, the bathroom is right next door. And originally when you walked in, the fan turned on by itself. So we had the landlord put the bathroom fans in for both bathrooms on a separate switch.
So it's those little details to think about when you're first renting an office space, to talk to the landlord, negotiate, figure out just everything, all that little stuff, right? Lighting, where it's going to go, sound, how you're going to keep it quiet, but trying to figure out what you can do to ask the landlord to help you out. But you probably had to guide them because they're not video people. They don't really know.
Yeah, they're used to doing office spaces and, not video studios. So I moved out of my house 8 years ago, and this is my now third studio that I've been in. So you kind of learn as you go what you need, what you don't need. And I feel like we really hit a home run with everything we put in this place.
All right, what else we got? I know you have your favorite room over here.
So here is our kitchen area.
You've got the soccer game on.
So this is our kitchen area. Our pride and joy is this shuffleboard table, which we use at least 6 times a day. We're playing a lot. Refrigerator, Keurig machine, plenty of storage space. So this is great, not only when a client is coming, maybe for a half day or an all day shoot, we can bring lunch in, but then also for the crew and staff where we all eat lunch together, and then we play some games.
And then what's back here?
Yep.
It just keeps going.
So out here is our warehouse area. So as you can see, we have all of our racks. We have all of our racks with all of our gear. We don't leave our cameras out here because of the temperature variation. For that, we do have a here that does kick on when it gets too cold. But we'll leave out here our lights, cables, sandbags, everything that's non-sensitive and non-critical like that.
And I see you really like the color red, but most notably, all these racks look super, super useful. Where'd you get the racks? And tell me about these red crates that you got everything in.
Yeah, so the racks, my company color is red. So when I saw that Home Depot had a black or red version of these racks, I obviously went for the red right away. They're about $300 each. I've had a lot of racks in my days. Most of them are cheap or wired and they don't last. Most of them broke in the move coming over here. So we have in total about 5 or 6 of these heavy duty racks that aren't going to break, and they're going to outlive us.
And these cases.
The cases, again, I've been doing video for 20 years. I've been through many of crates and Instacrates and boxes. I've decided more recently to go with these. Again, they're Home Depot brand. They're about $30 to $50 each, so they're not cheap, but they have a lifetime warranty and they hold up pretty well. And been very happy with them so far.
Good stuff. And then you've got the bay doors back here, so it looks like you guys can easily just park here, unload gear, open up the door.
Bay doors, only one we use, and we have an automatic opener, a garage door opener, which we can open up with our phones using an app. So when we know when we're coming in close, we can use our phone, turn off our alarm, open the doors, make it really easy to load in and load out. Unfortunately, we have 2 vans. Unfortunately, the vans won't fit in here all the way. We'll just kind of back them up to the door to load up and then get out. So we're in the suburbs of Baltimore. Most of the work that we do is live streaming, multicam productions, and corporate video. If you think we can be of help to you or be a partner, or even if you have any questions about live streaming, reach out. Our website is focalpp.com.